Hey, it's Nutter Alex here, and I'm doing my first video on Elder Scrolls Blades. So a little bit of intro. I'm a pretty new player. I've been playing for a few days now. I'm level 21. I'm doing pretty well. A lot of people are talking about this level 18 paywall. I haven't experienced that yet, and my guide here will hopefully alleviate you from having that happen to you. I've spent a little bit of money on the game. I've spent almost $20 Canadian, which is probably around 15 American. So my experience with mobile games is I played Clash of Clans during the beginning days. I think I was played within the first 3 months of that game coming out. I've played many turn-based RPGs. I've done quite well. I would come first in my server in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I actually really enjoyed that game, but I quit it. So I'm no stranger to these types of games. A lot of people I see right now online are having all these problems and saying like the game's pay to win. I don't necessarily believe that. Right now, it can't really even be play to win because it's for the time being it's single player, and I'm pretty sure you can beat it being completely free to play. It just takes you a little bit longer, and that's the case with these games. When PvP comes out, I can honestly seeing it being a little bit of a mess balance wise, but hopefully you'll fight people just around your level. Hopefully, some kind of power level will be introduced, so you're not really fighting people who are way stronger than you at your level. We'll see how they handle it. Kind of have faith, even if they do kind of muck it up. This game's on its first week, and I've never really seen a game this good on its first week anyway. So I have high hopes. So I'm going to start this video off with your general town building. So let's get into it. Town building is very important because the higher town level you are, you unlock more quests that way and you progress through the game. But it's very easy to kind of mess yourself up with the town building. It's very possible to get yourself into a hole where it's hard for you to get any more experience. This is because of copper. Copper is the most important building material. There's very little of it in the game. There's some ways you can farm it, and it's not really in abundance. So this part of the video is just trying to explain how to not get yourself into this hole. And to start off, the blacksmith. The blacksmith is your most important building. It's the most important because you can create your own gear, and you really want your gear to try to be around your level. You can upgrade your gear, you can upgrade your weapons, that makes you stronger. So it's very important also to build two blacksmiths. As you can see here, I have one upgrading while I have another one. And this is very important because as you progress through the levels, your blacksmith is going to take longer and longer and longer to upgrade. Also, when you create new gear, it becomes longer and longer and longer to create or to upgrade. So it's very important to have two because you want to always have one to repair your gear so you can always be grinding. You could get yourself in a hole where your gear is all broken, you want to grind a lot, but you have something upgrading. The next building would be the alchemy station or the alchemy store. I don't think this one's that important. It's kind of important for the beginning levels because you can make potions very easily. So making health potions can be beneficial. I would still build this as soon as you can, basically. There's no point not to. It's really good for poisons as well as like resistance potions. On the list, the total list of where all the buildings go in importance, I would say this is number 3 though. Next building is the workshop. This one's not important at all. Apparently it becomes useful at a higher level because a quest actually needs it to be level 4 and then you have to create something so you can continue with the main quest. So it's pretty useless until that point. You could upgrade it to level 2 or 3. I believe it starts to give copper. You still have to buy it, but you get it has a chance to give you copper. I don't think it's really worth it until you need it for that quest. So I would build it and then just kind of ignore it until that point. Then there's the Enchanter. The Enchanter is definitely the second most important. I think a lot of people that are having the problem at level 18, it's all because of the Enchanter, and they don't have it, or they haven't enchanted correctly. You definitely want it. It's very strong. And even at the beginning, if you put just health enchants on all of your armor, it's very, very strong. The gloves give you healing, and that extra, I believe, around 150 health goes a long way in the Abyss and even in just quests. So the Enchanter is very important. You get it around level 18, it should be. I believe it's town level 4, and get it as soon as possible and put health enchants on everything. Also, to enchant your sword or whatever you're using, I would put whatever increases the combo damage on your weapon. And for the shield, I would put maybe the fire one. I haven't really messed around with it too much, but the fire is good for fighting skeevers or spiders. So the finishing words for your town is blacksmith. Also, as soon as you can, build 2. Very important. The second one is definitely the enchanter. Very important. I would get the alchemy one, make that kind of your next focus. Then workshop is pretty much useless until you need it for the main quest. Do not build houses. Houses do nothing. For a little bit more copper, you get more of these buildings that are way more useful. You only really have to build houses when you're kind of at end game, I'm assuming, and you've already built all the buildings that actually do something, and you just need experience for your town. All right, now for grinding. Grinding is very important in any RPG, really, especially important in mobile games because that's how they keep you playing and whatnot. So, the most important thing, I think, is the Abyss. Why do I think the Abyss is the best? You get low experience for high reward. So you might think like, wow, you don't. Why low experience? And low experience is better because you don't want to progress too far above your capabilities to make gear, or else you get stuck in this place where the enemies are too strong and your gear's too weak, and you can't really grind properly. That's why I think the Abyss is the best. You get good rewards and you get less experience, but that's okay if you're, especially if you're a free to play player. If you're kind of more of a heavy spender, you might want to stay away from the Abyss, and I'll go into that later. But using the Abyss will keep you away from the infamous silver chest enemy that is annoying a lot of players. I don't mind the silver chests, and the Abyss kind of ties into how I use my silver chests. So I like to always have a silver chest running, and then during this time, which is 3 hours, I will grind in the Abyss for the wooden chests. I have found for myself, everyone will be different, but for myself, I like to grind around 20 chests in between my silver chest opening. So 20 chests per 3 hours. You might be different. You might want to grind less. You might want to grind more. It all depends on you. So the point is to grind the Abyss until you have as many chests as you want. So how you grind the Abyss, you go for one wooden chest. All right. So, and then you keep on going. And you keep on going because on the, I believe it's the 4th drop, you have a chance to get copper, and that's before the silver chest. You always want to stop before the silver chest because we know how annoying they can be once they pile up. So basically, you go in, you get that wooden chest, which is usually on the 2nd round, and then you want to go until you at least see the last option. If that last option is not the copper, I would just stop. But you also want to get to the 2nd round. So I'm going to show you right now an example of how I do it. Okay, so here we are. Another thing I forgot to mention, you always want to start on the level you are. I think that's the most effective way to do the Abyss. So you come down, some boring content here. But in the right hand side of the screen, it says do recorder. I don't know how to get rid of that. I'm new to the whole mobile recording thing. But behind that, after I kill this guy, you will see there's an item there. The first item will always be not that great. It's just something. Sometimes it's town materials like limestone or wood. Sometimes it's void salts, enchanting, that kind of stuff. So we're almost at the end of the round here. We're going to kill this guy. Go down here. And that's the first stage, right? First stage is finished. You go down the hallway. Sure, some of you have already done the abyss. All right, floor 2. You get a reward. It's not that much, but then you kill these guys. And this is where you have to pay attention. So after you finish this guy. All right, he's dead. All right, there's your wooden chest. It's always on the second one. It will always be the second one. So go down here. Another guy you have to kill. Typically, there's 3 enemies. It depends sometimes on skeevers. If you get a lich, it's only 1. Skeevers will be a mismatch, wolves, and other enemies that kind of lunge at you. All right, so this necromancer here, after he's dead. All right, so this is now my 3rd reward, or 4th, sorry. And on this reward, it's possible to get copper. So right now in this video, so I reach floor 3 and I'm done, or reach floor 23 and I'm done. So the reason why you want to get to the next floor and then quit is because you get the rewards, and this will ensure that you get enough gold to cover your repairs. You don't really want to go further than that. If you get bronze, you usually only have to kill 1 more enemy and then you're good. You'll get the bronze and then it's the silver chest and then you leave. Okay, now we're going to talk about jobs. And I was explaining before that you want to keep your experience gain at a level where your blacksmith is kind of keeping up to your gear that you should be at. So jobs are good for experience, and they give you the chest. So I think unless if you're spending a lot of money, don't really do jobs. They give you a lot of experience, so then you kind of push above your gear capabilities, and that's not a good thing. If you're a big spender, then go ahead and level. Another thing is they always drop like silver or gold chests. So you want to kind of stay away from that. You want to get as many wooden chests as you can while you're opening the silver chest. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is your abilities. So everyone's different, but you definitely want to absorb. So that's that. It gives you healing and protection. It's very, very strong. See here, negates damage, and it'll also heal you for that damage negated. All right. Matching set. So this is why you want to keep your blacksmithing up. When you wear the same armor, you get a defensive bonus. I think that's very strong. Healing Surge, I don't have this yet, but you could just hold block and you will actually recover health. Very, very strong. And the stamina abilities. Quick Strikes, I like to use this. They're not that good, but they make the Abyss go by much quicker. And the last one would be Adrenaline Dodge. This one is extremely strong. When you use it, you evade an enemy's attack, you heal for a lot. You definitely want this one. The other ones you can play with, but since your abilities are kind of limited, I would stick with these, or else you have to pay gems to change your abilities, and if you're a free-to-play player, that would not be very good. And that's it. So my finishing points are that you should definitely have 2 blacksmiths. I've already been kind of screwed over by this, so I don't want anybody else to make the mistake. Very important to blacksmiths. Very, very important when you get the enchanter, build it. And then put all health enchantments on your armor. This will give you so much survivability. The gloves give you two healing per hit, and the extra health makes it kind of carries you through all the content. The next for a free to play player or a light spender, definitely grind the Abyss, how I said. Especially for a free to play player, this will ensure that you're leveling at the correct pace for your equipment. This kind of sounds like a weird concept, but believe me, it's what you need to do. If you get too far ahead of yourself, you're just going to have problems, and that's when people are hitting these quote unquote paywalls. So that's it. Um, I believe I'll probably make another video when PvP comes out, my thoughts, maybe some strategies. But that's definitely something I'm going to be doing a lot of because I mainly just game to PvP. I would say right now I'm entering the mid game, so perhaps maybe my strategies won't really work as well in the mid game. So maybe I'll make a video based on that. I will probably end up making a video for end game strategies because I assume it's probably a little bit different, especially regarding the Abyss. But that's it. If you liked my video, like and subscribe. I'm going to make more of these Blades videos. I also make videos for the Elder Scrolls Online. So if that's something you might be into, yeah, follow up. I'm mainly just PvP over there. And that's it. Have a good day.